Barrister Wike said the administration had already addressed many of the workers' demands, describing some of the remaining issues as frivolous. He disclosed that over 12 billion naira had just been approved for the payment of January salaries to FCTA workers, adding that the territory had also recorded significant growth in internally generated revenue exceeding 30 billion naira under the current administration. Being implemented by the FCTA, including establishment of the Civil Service Commission and ongoing infrastructure development, arguing that inefficiencies within the public service had contributed to underdevelopment in the FCT and other states across the country.
When I came on board, what was the IGR of the FCT? 9 billion. 9 billion. Today, where are we? We have hit 30 billion. So you should be commended. Workers should not lose sight that before we came here, there's nothing like FCT Civil Service Commission. Workers should not lose the fact that they had no permanent secretaries. Workers should not lose sight that we were operating under TSA. This administration, under the present government of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, said, listen, you cannot deny or stagnate the growth of workers. Workers were retiring here at the level of directorship. It was under this administration that they had to get to permanent secretaries. It was under this administration they had to have the first head of service. It's under this administration they had to be Civil Service Commission that looks now to the promotion of workers.
Barrister Wike dismissed claims that he was forced out of his office during the strike, describing the report as false, and warned that any further attempts to shut down government operations would attract sanctions. He said workers who failed to resume duties in compliance with the court order would face the full weight of the law as the administration moves to restore normalcy across the nation's capital. Well, prior to the minister's briefing, the industrial court sitting in Abuja had ordered FCTA, FCDA workers under the Joint Union Action Committee, JUAC, to immediately suspend their ongoing industrial action against the Federal Capital Territory Administration, delivering a ruling on Tuesday in a suit number NICN ABJ 17-2026. Justice E.D. Subilim granted an interlocutory injunction filed by the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, and the FCTA. The court restrained the JUAC leadership and its agents from further embarking on any industrial action, picketing, or lockout pending the determination of the substantive suit. Justice Subilim held that while the matter constitutes a trade dispute, the law prohibits workers from participating in a strike once a dispute has been referred to the National Industrial Court. He emphasized that any ongoing industrial action must cease to allow the judicial determination of the case. Well, the court adjourned the matter until March 23, 2026 for the hearing of the substantive suit. Lawmakers at both chambers of the National Assembly resumed plenary earlier today from the Christmas and New Year recess with the promise to intensify work on pending legislations and other matters of national importance. At the Red Chamber, the Senate President, in his remarks, Senator Godswill Akpabio, highlighted the need for urgent legislative interventions to address rising insecurity and hunger across the country. He commended the ongoing military cooperation between Nigeria and the United States, expressing condolences to families who have lost loved ones to insecurity. Senator Akpabio warned that worsening food shortages demand immediate attention, referencing projections that millions of Nigerians could face severe hunger in 2026 if proactive steps are not taken. He also urged politicians to be guided by conscience as the country gradually moves into the campaign season ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Expectations have not diminished. They have grown more urgent as we return We are mindful that events did not pause in our absence, neither must our sense of duty pause. In this regard, we commend the continued military collaboration between Nigeria and the United States in the fight against terrorism. Such partnerships reinforce our national security efforts and affirm that Nigeria stands with allies in confronting forces that threaten peace and stability. At the same time, this Senate extends its deepest sympathies to the families who have lost their sons and daughters to insecurity across our dear nation. Their grief reminds us that security is not an abstract concept. It's about lives, homes, and futures that must be protected. So, distinguished colleagues, we must also respond with urgency to the warning by the United Nations that as many as 35 million Nigerians may face hunger this year. This sobering reality demands the doubling of efforts through legislation, oversight, and collaboration to strengthen food security, protect the vulnerables, and ensure that no Nigerian is abandoned to despair. As the political season gradually approaches,
the Senate President read 3 communications he received from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The major amendments proposed in the bill include the following: increase in the number of justices of the Court of Appeal. The bill seeks to increase the number of justices of the Court of Appeal, including the President of the Court, from 70 to 110. B. Clarification of judicial structure and seniority. The bill seeks restructure provisions relating to the composition, precedence, and ranking of justices of the Court of Appeal, including the ranking of the President of the Court and the determination of the seniority among justices. Modernization through the introduction of virtual court proceedings. The bill provides for the conduct of proceedings of the Court of Appeal through electronic and audio-visual means. Establishment of Alternative Dispute Resolution ADR Center. The bill seeks to establish an Alternative Dispute Resolution Center within the Court of Appeal to which appellate matters may be referred for settlement. It further empowers the President of the Court of Appeal to issue regulations and practice directions for its effective operation.
In another correspondence, the President requested Senate confirmation of appointment of Honorable Justice Oyewole Olubunmi Kayode as the Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Lawmakers also observed a minute silence in honor of former Senator Godiya Akwashike, who represented Nasarawa North. The Senate subsequently adjourned plenary to January 28, 2026. Former members of the National Assembly under the umbrellas National Forum of Former Legislators have passed a vote of absolute confidence in the President Tinubu's administration and endorsed him as their sole candidate for the 2027. Author resolutions are contained in the communique issued at the end of the Forum's 2026 National Summit held last weekend on the theme National Unity and Nation Building Beyond 2031 in Abuja. Here is the report. The forum also in the released communique advocated that rotational presidency between the northern and southern parts of the country be embedded in the constitution to sustain national unity beyond 2031. This approach, according to the forum, would eliminate doubt, build enduring trust between the North and the South, and provide clarity for future generations. Convener of the summit, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is now Chief of Staff to President Tinubu, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, highlighted the feats Nigeria already attained under the current leadership and maintained there is need for continuity. Other former speakers, Patricia Ete and Mr. Yakubu Dogara, also spoke separately in alignment.
President Tinubu's government has advanced numerous initiatives built on the foundation of national unity through programs that span the entire country, economic reforms that include all Nigerians, and coordinated security efforts. The administration works to strengthen bonds among citizens regardless of region. This approach reflects the renewed hope agenda's core emphasis on unity, shared responsibility, and progress that benefits everyone.
And when we held this same summit in Abeokuta, I don't think I need to hide my feelings because we believe in continuity. And I didn't hide it, I said it, and I pleaded that they should give us opportunity to finish our term. And I assure them that when is the turn of the Northerners, we do not need to start arguing with them. We will support them wholeheartedly.
So he said, as far as they are concerned, their 2027 election, especially presidential election, is already decided. That the president can go to bed.
National coordinator of the forum, Mr. Raphael Igbokwe, former Senate President and Chairman of the forum's 2026 summit, Ken Nnamani, as well as the current Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, further explained the task before the former lawmakers towards achieving the mandate of ensuring President Tinubu's re-election bid.
We are gathered here as former legislators who will go back and educate the voters, because we don't expect all voters to come and sit here.
Democracy thrives not only on elections and institutions, but on shared values, collective memory, and responsible leadership across generations. Former legislators have a critical role to play in nurturing these values by mentoring younger lawmakers, promoting legislative professionalism, and defending democratic principles at all times.
Going by the stance of the forum, Nigeria's presidency should rotate to the north in 2031 after completion of the current southern presidency under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Rosemary Kokotega, ASO Television News. The Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has donated 2 state-of-the-art mobile clinics to the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC, to help strengthen its rural health program. The mobile clinics donated under the Renewed Hope Initiative Health Support Program were formally presented at a ceremony which took place at the headquarters of the Nigerian Customs Service in Maitama, Abuja. The Taraba State government also received 1 mobile clinic at the event. Speaking at the occasion, Senator Tinubu commended successful batches of corps members for being drivers of the NYSC health interventions, adding that the donation of the mobile clinics would support the numerous medical outreaches of the scheme, especially under its health initiative for rural dwellers. The First Lady added that her visit to Taraba State last year necessitated the donation of 1 mobile clinic to the state government in order to complement its efforts on healthcare delivery. Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, described the First Lady's gesture as a timely and strategic intervention that would significantly expand the program. General Nafiu said the Renewed Hope Initiative's philosophy, anchored on the belief that health is not a privilege but a right, aligns perfectly with the NYSC's mandate and ongoing efforts to deliver free healthcare services to underserved communities. He disclosed that in 2025 alone, over 6,300 core medical personnel, including more than 2,300 doctors, were deployed to remote areas to improve access to healthcare. The Taraba State Governor, Dr. Agbu Kefas, thanked Senator Oluremi Tinubu for the donation and assured that the state government remains committed to advancing the welfare of residents of the state. You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the UHF band channel 38. Coming up after the break and other story, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria attains internationally recognized certifications on quality management system and environmental management. Stay with us after the timeout.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, look the life that you remember.
Don't score.
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
Many thanks for staying with us. We go ahead with other stories. Now, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has successfully obtained 2 internationally recognized certifications, ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management System and ISO 1400-2015 Environmental Management System. The certifications were awarded by MSECB Canada following a comprehensive and independent audit of FAN's systems and operations. FAN's Director, Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Henry Adegbire, who confirmed this in a statement, said this achievement confirms that FAN's operational processes meet global standards for quality management, environmental responsibility, and continual improvement. It said it underscores the authority's commitment to delivering efficient, safe, and customer-focused airport services while promoting sustainable environmental practices across all FAN's managed airports. The statement noted that the attainment of these certifications further strengthens FAN's institutional credibility and positions Nigeria's airports to compete more effectively on the global aviation stage. FAN also appreciated the continued support of its stakeholders and commends the dedication and professionalism of its workforce in achieving this important milestone. The authority assured that it remains committed to upholding international best practices and continuously improving service delivery across the Nigerian aviation sector. The Armed Forces of Nigeria has concluded investigations into disciplinary cases involving 16 officers arrested in October 2025 for acts of indiscipline and breaches of service regulations. In an update issued by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, the Defense Headquarters disclosed that the investigation report has been completed and forwarded to the appropriate superior authority in line with extant military regulations. According to the statement, investigations were conducted in accordance with established military procedures and thoroughly examined the circumstances surrounding the conduct of the affected officers. Findings from the probe revealed that a number of officers are facing allegations bordering on plotting to overthrow the government acts described as being fundamentally inconsistent with the ethics, values, and professional standards of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Consequently, officers found to have cases to answer will be formally arraigned before appropriate military judicial panels to face trial in line with the Armed Forces Act and other applicable service regulations. The Armed Forces of Nigeria noted that the process reflects its commitment to accountability, fairness, and due process. The military authorities emphasized further that the actions being taken are purely disciplinary and form part of internal mechanisms designed to preserve order, discipline, and operational effectiveness within the ranks. The Armed Forces of Nigeria reaffirmed its resolve to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, loyalty, and respect for constitutional authority, assuring the public of its continued commitment to national security and democratic governance. Now going to other stories. The senior pastor of the First Baptist Church, Garki Abuja, has urged Nigerians to exercise their civic and civil responsibilities ahead of the 2027 general elections by obtaining their permanent voter cards and voting rightly. It disclosed this during the church's annual White Robe Sunday service in Abuja with the theme, The Year of Advance. Sobura Uthman reports.
Members of the First Baptist Church, Garki Abuja, all adorned in white attire, sang and offered prayers in unity and forgiveness, seeking purification, forgiveness, and divine intervention from God during the White Robe Sunday service, which followed a 21-day period of fasting. Explaining the essence of the White Sunday service, the senior pastor, First Baptist Garki Abuja, Reverend Tom Tapatari, urged Nigerians to rightly exercise their civic and civil responsibilities, particularly as the 2027 general elections draw nearer.
Politics should be about service to humanity, service to the nation, service to the future of our nation. We should look beyond the now, here and today, and think about what can happen in our nation in the next 20, 50 years.
The White Robe service, which worshippers described as a fresh start for their lives and the church, also serve as an opportunity for members to rededicate their lives to God.
We not only come to God with our requests, but rededicating our lives to God, seeking God's face, for the remaining days and months and weeks of the year.
For the past several days, we've been on the mountain, waiting and praying for ourselves, for our community, and for the nation.
And so all of us, we have come together in this appearance, symbolizing that we are united in one, in heart, in mind, and in purpose.
Prayers were also offered for the nation's capital and Nigeria as a whole. Sobura Usman, ASU Television News.
The Gwagwalada chairman of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Honorable Abdullahi Yunusa, has continued his inspection tour of the ongoing permanent voters card PVC distribution exercise being conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in the area council. The inspection took place in the Dobi zone, which comprises Paiko, Ibra, and Dobi wards. The visit was aimed at assessing the level of compliance, efficiency and transparency of the exercise, as well as encouraging eligible voters to collect their PVCs and actively participate in the democratic process. During the tour, Honorable Yunusa interacted with the INEC officials, party stakeholders, and community members at various PVC collection centers. He commended the orderly conduct of the exercise in most words, but also drew attention to minor challenges observed in some locations, which he urged INEC officials to promptly address to ensure that no eligible voter is disenfranchised. The PDP chairman called on party members and the general public to intensify mobilization of residents, particularly youths and first-time voters, to take advantage of the ongoing exercise and secure their voting rights ahead of the forthcoming FCT area council's elections. Alhaji Yunusa reaffirmed the PDP's commitment to deepening democracy at the grassroots level in Gwagwalada area council. According to him, the inspection tour underscores the party's resolve to promote credible elections, strengthen public confidence in the electoral process, and position the PDP for effective participation and victory in the upcoming polls. Following a completion of its verification exercise, the federal government has commenced the plotting of the disputed and newly drilled oil and gas wells, noting that the exercise was necessary to ensure that oil-producing states receive their rightful share of revenue in line with the Constitution. The press statement signed by the head of Information and Public Relations Unit to the Commission, Miriam Omar Yusuf, indicates that the chairman Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission RMAFC Dr. Mohammed Bello Shehu disclosed this in Abuja, stressing that while addressing members of the press during the flagging of ceremony, while expressing confidence that the outcome of the exercise would significantly reduce disputes and strengthen trust in the derivation process, Dr. Shehu assured stakeholders that the Commission would remain impartial throughout the process. He acknowledged that the exercise cuts across all oil-producing states, including Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Bayelsa, Ondo Rivers, Delta, and offshore locations, stressing that it is the facts on ground that will reveal how actually, who owns actually what, and if ownership has to be shared between states. And now here is a reminder of one of the stories that made headline. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has warned striking staff of the territory to return to work or face legal consequences following a ruling by the National Industrial Court ordering an end to the industrial action that has disrupted services in Abuja for more than a week. Many thanks for watching. I am Rosemary Ukokotega. Good night.